Myself, Dr. Vijay Ketan Sahu, Department of Chemistry, School of Sciences, Gitami University, Hyderabad campus. Dear students, today we are going to discuss on a topic called as corrosion. So before going to know about the details on corrosion, let us see what its effect in our society around us. Let us start with our own house. When you make our own house, we need metals. Basically, what metals we use? Generally iron for slabs, for windows, for doors, as well as the main gate door, that's grill. So most of the metallic work is from iron. Even though other metals find application in our day-to-day life also, but mostly we find iron as the main metal in our day-to-day application. Not only house, also in the industries, also anywhere, iron find application widely, right? So let us have a look into this. When we make the slab, we use iron, door, window, everything we use iron. But what we do in generally, when we make the grill or the window or the doors, we coat over it by a paint. What is the reason for it? Why do we coat? Is it for the good looking, to make the appearances good? Yes, it could be one of the reason, but the main reason is to prevent the metal from corrosion. This is one of the main reason. Okay, let us come to some other examples in our day-to-day life. We come across through the news channels, also from the newspapers, that somewhere the bridge is collapsed, or somewhere a building is collapsed, or somewhere maybe some big structure has been collapsed. What is the reason for collapsing? Maybe bridge, maybe house, or maybe in building, or maybe big structure. What is the reason for collapsing of this? At the beginning, nobody knows what could be the reason. But after investigation, one of the reason is corrosion. What corrosion? Corrosion basically of the metals used in all those structures. Right? So what happens? In generally, iron is used also. So when the metal undergoes corrosion, its strength decreases, and as a result, the structure collapses. Let us come to another point. When the metal undergoes corrosion, does the entire metal undergoes corrosion? Absolutely no. What happens exactly? A corrosion happens locally on the metal. We call as local corrosion. Whenever the local corrosion takes place on any metal, let it be in bridge or maybe in any building or structure, wherever the local corrosion happens, then the strength of the metal at that point decreases, and that causes the breakage or the fracture or collapsing of the structure, right? So you can see many of the examples collapsing of bridges and like structures. I will give you one example in our country, right? That is Gokhel Bridge in Andheri, Mumbai. The bridge collapsed in July 3rd, 2018. Initially, nobody knows what could be the reason of collapsing, but after investigation, they found that the main reason for collapsing of the bridge is corrosion. Okay, so let us now we'll see what exactly the corrosion is, right? And what happens in the corrosion, or what is the chemistry behind the corrosion. Let us come, we'll discuss. So let us have a focus on it to understand what corrosion is. I will show also once more the Gokhel Bridge in the slides. So have a focus into this. I'll show three things. See, this is a pure iron nail. It's not it. This is pure iron, right? If I'll show another one, this is what? A corroded nail. This is a corroded nail. If I'll show another one, what is this? This is also iron nail, but this is a protected iron nail. Protected means what? Protected from corrosion. If I'll show altogether the 3 nails, have a look into this. See now, these 3. If you look into this, right, here, what happens? This is the pure iron, not corroded. This is the corroded iron, and this is the protected iron nail. Altogether, these 3, what is the C difference? This is pure, this is the corroded one, means corrosion takes place over the iron nail here, that's why the color is changed. Here, see, it is protected one. If you compare this and this, appearance is different. So this is the protected one. Protected means the iron nail is coated by something else. We'll discuss later what is that coating, right? So now we'll discuss detail about what corrosion is and what is the chemistry behind corrosion, right? And what is its types, what are its protection methods. Let us come and we'll discuss it. See, as I mentioned, here, this is what the Gokhel bridge at Andheri. This is what happens, the bridge is collapsed due to corrosion. And if you see, you go through this website, you can see many of the examples of the collapsing of bridges. Other reason could be there, but many of the reasons is due to corrosion of the metals, the bridge has been collapsed. The next is, let us focus on this. Just before I have shown some nails. So here, let us have a compare. Is there any change in the materials? See, this is pure iron nail. This is the corroded one. This is a glass made from the copper. This is also made from copper, but see, inner side is green in color. This is also, see, a statue of liberty. This is also Statue of Liberty, but this is the color now. This was the color at the beginning. So color is changed. That's why I mentioned, is there any change in the materials? Definitely there's a change. What are those changes? There's a color change. What are those color changes? Let us see. So iron, this is a silver gray color that goes to reddish brown color. And here copper, this is a reddish brown, goes to green color. This is also reddish brown and goes to green color. So what happens here? The color has been changed. Why the color has been changed? That means this metal, when exposed to the atmosphere, it undergoes corrosion. When it undergoes corrosion, over the surface of this metal, a compound is formed. That compound we call as a corrosion product. This corrosion product is nothing but here over the nail surface. That's why the color is changed. Got it? Now, then why the metal react with its environment? That is called as corrosion medium. What is the reason? Let us come to see. Now have a look into this here. Normally what metal we are using, that is pure metal in our day-to-day life. But where from we get that metal? Basically we mine it, right? So what happens here? The ore is there. We get the pure metal by extraction process, in which we use energy. We provide energy to get the pure metal. Now when the pure metal we get, we use different materials and it is exposed to its corrosion medium or immediate surrounding and undergoes corrosion and goes to corrosion product. What is that corrosion product? Maybe metal oxide, maybe metal sulfides. So these are nothing but the compound which is formed over the pure metal, and these are nothing but the corrosion products. Try to understand here metal, this is metal oxide or metal sulfide present in the compound form. Why the metal goes to this form? Look into here. Due to the energy. What is the energy of a metal? High energy. And here the energy of a compound, it is low energy. Why? The reason, ore is there, we get it from the underneath of the earth by providing energy, by using energy, and all those energies is stored in the metal. That's why the energy of the metal is very high. But when it is exposed to the atmosphere, the corrosion reaction takes place, which is spontaneous. Spontaneous means There is no external supply of energy. It happens on its own, and by the process, energy is released. When the energy is released, then the compound form of the metal get lower energy. And always the natural principle is every matter wants a stability. That's why if you compare the metal and its compound, then this is the lower energy. That's why the metal has the tendency to undergo the corrosion. That's why metal reacts with its surrounding and goes to the stable state, and later on it convert into ore. Further again we extract it. This is what the process happens. Now next question is, does all metal undergoes corrosion? Let us have a look into. If at all some metal undergoes corrosion, why it undergoes corrosion? If some metal does not undergo, why it does not? Let us see. Okay, same thing it has been explained here. Let us have here. So what is corrosion? Let us discuss it, then we'll go to that. What is corrosion? Corrosion is nothing but unwanted destruction of a metal due to its chemical or electrochemical reaction with its surrounding or environment, leading to reduction in the thickness of the metal and loss of some metallic properties. What are those properties? Maybe malleability, ductility, electrical conductivity, and so on. So here the metal undergoes corrosion. Metal, there is a loss of the metal content and there is a loss of some metallic properties. Some examples. Iron undergoes rusting. Why it undergoes rusting? Iron react with the moist air, means oxygen and water, go to the formation of a compound, ferric hydroxide, that is called as a rust. So this is the rust compound over the surface. Here this is nothing but a copper glass, but when it's corroded it appears as green. Why? Copper react with the carbon dioxide in its surrounding, goes to copper carbonate, which is on the surface, corrosion product. Similarly here, this is the spoon made from silver, but when it undergoes corrosion, it got tarnished. When it is tarnished, due to the formation of a silver sulfide, silver combined with sulfur, this sulfur comes from hydrogen sulfide gas in its immediate surrounding and forms a silver sulfide, which make the silver tarnish. Just before I told whether all metals undergoes corrosion or no. Let us have a look into. I have shown 3 examples here. Magnesium goes to magnesium hydroxide, copper hydroxide, gold hydroxide. If I put the question, can all these reactions are possible? Possible means here magnesium undergoes corrosion, give rise to magnesium hydroxide. Similarly, copper undergoes corrosion, give rise to copper hydroxide. Similarly, gold also give rise to gold hydroxide. All these products are possible. Let us have a look into. Can you tell me what is there any possibility for all the reactions to have? Now let us have whether a reaction is possible or not. Feasibility of a reaction. Anandaji, how fast these reactions occur? That is rate of reaction. How we can get the answer from all these? So the feasibility of a reaction can be answered by thermodynamics. What is that parameter? Gives a free energy change, that is del G. If it is negative, then the reaction is feasible or possible. If it is positive, the reaction is not possible. Now, rate of a kinetics, rate of a reaction by kinetics. The rate of a reaction, how fast the reaction proceeds, can be answered by kinetics. What is the rate? How much quantity of matter is lost in unit time. Okay, so here now let us see whether all the reactions are possible or no. That can be determined by the free energy change. See now, the free energy change is negative means both the reactions are possible, whereas del G is equal to positive means this reaction is not possible. That means this product does not exist. This reaction in the forward direction does not take place. That's why gold is a noble metal. It does not undergo corrosion. That's why this metal used as ornamental metal. Most of the, you might have seen, we use gold as a ornamental metal, right? So that's why all metal does not undergoes corrosion. For any reaction, if the free energy change is negative, then the reaction is possible. Now, types of corrosion. How many types of corrosion are there? There are two types. One is dry or chemical corrosion, another is wet or electrochemical corrosion. Let us come discuss. What is dry or chemical corrosion? As the name dry, that means this corrosion happens in absence of a water, in absence of a aqueous medium. And why chemical? Because a chemical reaction happens. So that's why due to direct chemical action of atmospheric gases on metal surface. That's why whenever any metal is exposed to the atmospheric gases in absence of aqueous medium, the corrosion occurs is called as dry corrosion. That is called as a dry corrosion. Got it? Now example, what are the atmospheric gases? Oxygen, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, H2S, hydrogen sulfide, chlorine, this like this. So here metal exposed to the atmosphere. Now a little corrosion product is formed. More exposed, more product. Again more exposed, more product. What are these corrosion products? It could be metal oxide, could be metal sulfide, could be metal chlorides, could be metal carbonates, as we have seen from the examples before. So now, what is wet or electrochemical corrosion? As the name wet, wet means the corrosion takes place in aqueous medium, in presence of water. Why electrochemical? Electrochemical means over the metal, a electrochemical cell formation takes place. That's why the name is electrochemical corrosion. That's why see here a metal is exposed to the aqueous medium, corrosion takes place. That's why so named as wet corrosion. Now, let us have a focus into this. This wet corrosion occurs when a metal is in contact with a conducting liquid. Now, this is the conducting liquid. This is a metal. This undergoes corrosion. Please have a focus on this. A single metal. So, when it undergoes corrosion, one part of the metal acts as anode, other part acts as a cathode. Try to understand. Anode part undergoes oxidation, and that part undergoes a corrosion. Once more repeat, a node where oxidation takes place, that is nothing but the corrosion reaction, right? When it occurs when a metal is in contact with a conducting liquid. Example is rusting of iron. So the rusting of iron is example of a wet corrosion. Let me explain. Here see, this gray color is nothing but a single iron metal, and over it water is there, nothing but a conducting liquid. Now, when the conducting liquid is there over a metal surface, a small portion of the metal acts as a anode, and the entire surface, rest of the surface, acts as a cathode. As I mentioned that anode oxidation takes place. Oxidation means the metal undergoes dissolution into the electrolyte as ions. That's why iron goes into iron. That's why there's a loss of a metal. That's what corrosion is. So now iron undergoes dissolution into ion, ferrous ion, and liberated 2 electrons. Now these electrons move to the cathode in both sides, and when it reaches cathode, it reacts with the oxygen and water. See, electron, this electron comes from here. Sorry. So here, now this electron comes from here, combines with oxygen and water, give rise to hydroxyl ion. So at a cathode, hydroxyl ion is there, and at a anode, ferrous ion is there. Oppositely charged, now both combine to give ferrous hydroxide. But in presence of more oxygen, ferrous hydroxide combine to give a hydrated iron oxide. This iron oxide, hydrated iron oxide, is called as a rust, which is appeared as a red color here. Also, wet corrosion takes place when two dissimilar metals are dipped in a solution. When two different metals comes in contact with a conducting medium, then wet corrosion takes place. Have a look into here. Aluminium, copper. When both metals, two different metals in contact with electrolyte over its surface, see, corrosion takes place at aluminium because this is more reactive than copper. That's why this part acts as anode, as I mentioned. Wherever anode, any metal behave as an anode, oxidation takes place and it undergoes corrosion. Similarly here, this is steel made from iron, this is copper. and this is the entire is conducting liquid, conducting medium. Now this is more reactive as compared to copper. That's why iron undergoes oxidation. That's why there is a loss of metal here. Iron goes as a P2 plus ion into the electrolyte dissolution. Release electron, the electron moves through the conducting wire and reach here. After reaching here, what happens? It reacts with the other ions present in the electrolyte. And here hydroxyl ion is formed. Ferrous ion, hydroxyl ion combined to give you ferrous hydroxide. That is nothing but the corrosion product. See here, two different metals. This is one metal, this is one metal. When both are contacted and they come in contact with the conducting liquid, where is the conducting liquid? At the joint place. You see both side hole is there. So now water vapor will be available. That's why water vapor act as electrolyte. See, this part is undergoing corrosion. That's why when two dissimilar metals are dipped in a conductive solution, where corrosion takes place. Now, what are the prevention method or protection of the corrosion? One is coating. As I mentioned at the beginning, normally the grill at the main gate, what we do? We coat it by a paint. What for? To prevent from corrosion. The same thing I mentioned here, this is coating. The coating could be by a paint, also could be by metallic coating also. So here, what is the chemistry behind coating? So when the surface is coated by a coat, that means the coating over the metal surface act as a barrier and protect the inner metal. And one more thing also, the metal is not exposed to the atmosphere. Atmosphere means the corrosion medium. Hence, the metal is protected by coating. These are some examples of metallic coating. These are some examples also. This is Eiffel Tower made from iron. What it looks like, see, but this is the color. How? It is coated by some paint. This is on the bridge, is iron structure is painted. Here also in the marine systems, maybe ship, maybe any other like ships, maybe ships mainly, that is being coated to avoid from corrosion. Similarly, this is car also. This is what happens in absence of a coating. If it is coated, it is protected from the corrosion. Now, another method of is corrosion control by metallic coating. Now, one metal to be protected by another metal, right? So now metal to be protected is called as the base metal, and the metal to be coated is called as a coating metal. So here two processes we find application in our day-to-day life. One is galvanization, another is tinning. What is galvanization? Protection of iron by zinc. Tinning, coating of iron surface by tin. This is one example of a galvanization. This is coating of iron by zinc. This is coating of iron by tin. Let us have a look into here. Reactivity series of metals. I have shown a part of it. Reactivity increases in this way. If you look into, tin is the least reactive and magnesium is highly reactive. If you compare iron, zinc, aluminum, magnesium, among these, magnesium is more reactive. If we want to protect iron, if iron can be covered by zinc, then zinc will undergo corrosion. Why? Zinc is more reactive than iron. This is what the galvanization is. When iron is protected by zinc, if at all corrosion takes place, iron is not corroded. Zinc is corroded. Why? Zinc is more reactive than the iron. Have a look into here. See, this is the material to be coated. This is the molten zinc. The iron is dipped in it and taken out. When it is dipped in it, now this is molten zinc. Now the zinc is coated over the surface, and that is what the galvanization is. Another method is cathodic protection. What is cathodic protection? As mentioned before, in the wet corrosion, a electrochemical cell is formed over the metal, wherever one part acts as anode, other part acts as a cathode. As I mentioned, corrosion takes place at anode. That's why if the metal to be protected will behave as a cathode, then the metal is protected. That's why the name is cathodic protection. That means the base metal to be protected should be behave as a cathode in the electrochemical cell. That's a technique to prevent corrosion of a metal by making the metal to act as a cathode of an electrochemical cell. It is two types, sacrificial anode, another is impressed current method. Let us see what are those. So sacrificial anode ki protection. Let us, this is your base metal which you want to protect. That's why to protect it, you have to connect to another metal which is more reactive compared to the base metal. And try to understand, when it is more reactive, oxidation takes place here, and this metal undergoes a corrosion, but parallelly it is being protected. So now this metal is protected at the sacrifice of this metal, which act as anode. That's why the name is sacrificial anodic protection. The anode metal sacrifice itself to protect this metal. That's why the name is sacrificial anodic protection. Now here see, this is the iron metal, zinc is coated here now, galvanization. If at all now corrosion takes place, iron does not undergo corrosion, rather zinc undergoes corrosion. Why? Zinc is more reactive than the iron. That's why the zinc here, the sacrificial anode. Example, where we find the application of this. See, in the water, in the sea and oceans, like anything metal is in under the water, these metallic rods to be protected. That's at the base of the metal. See, another small metal is used. This is nothing but act as a sacrificial anode, and this metal is more reactive than this metal. If at all corrosion takes place here by protecting this metal. Similarly, this structure, these small blocks act as a sacrificial anode. If corrosion takes place, then these small blocks undergoes corrosion and the metallic rods are protected. Similarly, also you find application toward the protection of the hull of the ship. If you want to protect the entire hull of the ship, now these are small blocks is fitted nearby it. These small blocks act as a sacrificial anode. If at all corrosion takes place, then corrosion takes place here are these small blocks and the entire hull is protected. Now, what is cathode protection? Called as impressed current system. What is impressed current system? Here what happens, external current is applied from a DC source so that the metal to be protected is forced to behave as a cathode. Once more I repeat, here in this system, impressed current is applied from external source so that the metal to be protected is forced to behave as a cathode. And some other metals behave as anode. Those are most noble metals, or they are insoluble electrodes. There will be no loss, they don't undergo corrosion. But electron source is nothing but the external source. Because of this metal to be protected, forced to behave as a cathode. Have a look into this here. I have compared both here. So here this is a sacrificial cell. If you want to protect this metal, connect this metal to other metal which is highly reactive so that it undergoes corrosion, electron is released and moves to the cathode. Hence this is protected. Now impressed current system, what is this? If you want to protect this metal, now it is connected to another electrode which is insoluble in nature or more noble in nature, that's platinum, and electron source is nothing but a DC source, external source, electron source. Now electron is generated here and from this anode it moved to the cathode. As a result, this metal is protected because you know that corrosion takes place at anode. As it is more noble metal, corrosion does not take place here. What is the application of impressed current cathode protection? Example, if you want to protect the ship, now convert into to behave as cathode, and this is the external source from where the electron will be supplied. This is the anode, which is insoluble anode or maybe noble metal. As a result, it is protected. Example, another example here, metallic structure under the water. She might have small yellow blocks. These are nothing but ICCP system, many ICCP systems are fitted to protect this. So these are some of the other applications of impressed current cathode protection. It find application in the marine system, also the underground pipe protection. Right, many of the applications are there: subsoil pipe protections, big tanks, vessels. These are some of the references. So this is the end of this discussion on corrosion. I hope you might have enjoyed this video.